Hey there friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another video here on my YouTube channel. Today we're doing something special. It's an Instagram hop between Pearblossom Press and Catherine Pooler Designs. So I'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's get into what we're using today. I'm going to be using the Easy Light. Love these, you know that. You've seen me use them 1,000 times. Well, maybe not that many, but I do love them. So we've got our Easy Light. We also have these HAI Supply candle flames because we're going to be making a birthday card. And then I have the Pearblossom Press stamp set. All right, from Catherine Pooler Designs, we have the Birthday Fiesta stamp. So cute. Look at all those candle opportunities. I'm going to be using the Easy Light, but you could very easily do the Candlelight. Here are the matching dies to go along with it, and then this gorgeous Charismatic paper. I love these stripes, and I love those colors. 25 sheets. And then we have the Bay Breeze ink pad, and I'm going to bring in another color also. We're going to be bringing in the Mandarin Spice. But let's jump into our stamping now. I've got a piece of Express It cardstock, and I'm going to ink up my images with some blackout ink by Ink on 3, which are perfect for alcohol marker coloring, which is what I plan to do. So I'll close the door, grab that ink, and then we'll ink this up really well. Probably stamp it a couple times because I want to make sure that I have a good impression. And then I've noticed with this, you do need to sort of hit it with a heat tool or let it dry for a bit because you could smear those colors if you're going over the top of a lot of dark lines. And then we'll bring in our Olo markers. I'm going to do some stippling, and I want to leave a lot of white space for our llama himself. So I've got some Y0s, and I'll put those colors up on the screen eventually, but I'm starting with the darker color. I think that one's 2.3, and then I'll bring in 2.2 and just doing dots, different sizes of dots where I think the shadowing might be. And I started with the dark one, going with the light one. I'll bring in that dark one once again just to add a couple more dark spots. But I really love how he looks. He looks nice and puffy, which is kind of fun since he's a fluffy llama. And then we're going to bring in colors that match the papers that we have. And so those are pretty simple. I don't know if you can read that up there. This is an orange one. And we'll just keep using those colors. You're going to eventually see me bring in a cloth. Sometimes when you're using small or coloring in small areas, especially with the Olos, the tip might get super, super juicy. And then you could end up getting your marker kind of, I don't want to say, a blob of color. So I pay attention. Whenever I'm coloring, I try to pay attention to the tip of my marker, especially these Olos. Because when they get really, really shiny, that means they're about to plop a lot of color. It's because they like to be juicy. Unlike sometimes the Copic markers can dry out a little bit, that is not a problem with the Olos. They are nice and juicy, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why I love those. I use both my Copics and my Olos, and I use them together even sometimes, but definitely love the juiciness. You just have to be paying attention. All right, so then we're going to bring in another color. Like I said, I had fun pulling in those colors that I thought would match the paper that I plan to use. And I want to use one of each of those patterned papers. I love the stripes on it. I think I'll use that paper quite frequently for a lot of things, even if it's just to grab one of those randomly for a color for something. As you can see, I was looking at my red thinking, okay, the tip is getting a little bit juicy. And so I'm going to dab it here in a second. You'll see how much color that puts on but yeah, you just pay attention to that. All right, now we'll be ready to bring in our matching dies, and we'll tack that down with a little bit of mint tape. And then we can run that through our die cutting machine, and then we'll have these perfectly die cut out images with a nice white border around them. And then we can start thinking about how we're going to assemble our card panel. So I've brought in a card panel that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, full front of an A2 size card. And I'm going to bring in some more of that mint tape. I want to mask off the top part. And so I thought I was going to do it here, and then I thought that's a little too small of ground. I want the llama to be up a little higher. So I'm going to mask it off. And I'm kind of using my glass mat to line things up a little bit because I want it to be fairly straight. And then I'm going to bring in that Bay Breeze and just put it right to the paper, which is so cool. You can make any color paper you want to match all that you got going on. And it looks really dark there. It will dry back a bit, but those are some beautiful, juicy ink pads. I love that about the Catherine Pooler ink pads. So now I've brought in all of the colors from that Charismatic paper pad, and I'm just going to cut down just a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch on each one of the colors. and we'll sort of make it look a bit like a rainbow. It'll be a nice, rich, dark colored one, which is so fun. Love that yellow. The green is really pretty too. And then this Bay Breeze one. Oh, gorgeous. Love it. So now that I've got all of those, I'm going to line those up on the left-hand side of my paper. And we're just going to go ahead and tack that down with some liquid glue. I found when I was putting these down that the stripes were starting to line up, and I actually really liked that look, so I wanted to stick with it, which is what we're going to do. Bring in the green one next. And I love how all of Catherine Pooler's pattern papers match her ink pads, so there's no guessing as to what you need. And I think it even says it on the front of the pattern paper which particular colors they go with, which is awesome. Takes a lot of the work out, right? Okay, so lining up that orange one and then finally our red one. And I love how those all look together. Isn't that super pretty? Okay, so now I'm kind of lining up where I want things to go. But before we attach anything down, we're going to trim off the excess of that paper. I just wanted it to dry first before I started cutting. We can throw away the excess. And now we can start attaching down all of our little bits. Well, let's stamp our sentiment first. So I've brought in the Pearblossom Press black sentiment stock. This stuff is absolutely perfect for your embossing because it's so super smooth. I did use an anti-static powder tool on it first, inked it up with some juicy embossing ink, covered that with some detail white embossing powder, and then heat set that off screen. And now I'm just trimming that down with my guillotine trimmer. And now we'll start attaching everything with some liquid glue. I love how that looks on there. That I feel like is good placement. So we're going to go ahead and attach everything down. I'm not going to use foam tape on this because again, we're lighting this up. And so we're going to have plenty of bulk underneath. So we don't want to add any extra by putting more foam tape behind those. You could do that, but it's just going to make your card a bit bulky. We'll glue down our candles as well. I love how tall they are for our tall little llama. And then I'm going to bring in my paper piercer. This is the pickup stick from Trinity Stamps. It's in the Pearblossom Press store. And I'm going to poke holes where all of the candles are, and then I'm going to wiggle that tool around in there to make those holes a little bit bigger so the light can come through even more. So there you can see where the holes are. Open those up a little bit more. And then I'm going to bring in my card base, which is just an A2 size card base. And I'll bring in my pen and I'll go right through the holes on there, making sure everything's nice and lined up. So that way I know where to put my lights underneath. So we've got our 3 holes. And so let's bring in our Easy Light. Open up that package. You can tell I've been using it because I've already used one. So you take your battery and then you're going to take your mechanism, pop that apart. They all come together. And then you can easily just put your battery in, make sure the plus side is on top, and everything lights up beautifully. I keep checking often just in case, because there was one time I was doing the lights and I snipped them by accident and didn't know that, and everything was attached down. So then my lights weren't working. So it does happen. Just want to make sure all the lights are facing up, and then I'm going to use some of this clear Scotch tape right over the top of the lights. It's not going to affect them. They'll work fine. And then attach that down, checking to make sure everything lights up well. And then this is where I need to decide where I want to put my mechanism. And so I'm just kind of thinking about where the push button is going to be, where the battery access will be if you need to access the battery for some reason. And then once I've decided, I'll just glue that down and then just take another piece of that Scotch tape. You could use washi tape, that would work fine too. And then just attach everything else down. Now I'll bring in those candle flames, and there are several sizes in there, a couple, I think 2 or 3 different sizes, which I love. I think that's awesome. And we're going to use the smaller ones, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do my final bit of stamping, which is to put the press here. And I did get a small indention purposely. Wanted to make sure I had a small indention with my finger when I press the button, so now I know where to hit the press button and stamp that down. If it didn't work out, I could always just stamp it onto another piece of paper and then glue that down. I've done that many, many times. Put a little dollop of glue where our candle flame is going to go, and I'm using my pickup stick to put those down and make sure they're nice and straight. They just look so cool on there, and I really think that amplifies the light also. All right. So now we can bring in our world's best foam tape, and it is because I've been in this industry for well over 20 years, used all kinds of foam tapes, and this one by far is my absolute favorite for several reasons. It's easy to cut and it doesn't gunk up your scissors. The release paper comes off super easy. You don't rip off your manicure if you happen to have one, which I've done that before too, using other foam tapes. And this stuff is, believe it or not, repositionable for the first 30 minutes. So if you happen to put your panel down in an area where you're like, oh no, that's not straight, you can peel it back. And you can peel it back several times. I've had to do that too. So just know that this tape is amazing for that. I did happen to get it on there straight. Shocker, first time go. And now everything is working beautifully. I do want to stamp on the inside of my card. So this is where I brought in that mandarin spice. That matches the pattern paper also. I'll stamp out our little leopard, and then I'll stamp the words Make a Wish with some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then that's going to finish off our card. So this is a part of an Instagram hop. I'll have all the information linked down below. So you're going to want to go check that out. Hop along. There's a chance to win a prize. You don't want to miss out on that. And also you don't want to miss out on the inspiration that there is for this Instagram hop. So if you like this video, hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.